Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, the first one, it comes from a message that I received through TikTok. The message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as anonymous. I started as an educator. I was working in the Department of Education. Later on, I received a promotion, and my husband as well was working as an educator. Me and my husband, we met when we were still in university. So we had been working for a number of years. As we were working, we then made a decision because we had money and we were also involved with helping kids with their after school work, and then the parents, they would pay us. Since we were staying in the suburbs, we then saw it as an opportunity to start a school. After we had started that small school, then we realized that the business that we had entered into, even though we thought that we knew a lot since we were already school teachers, we eventually knew nothing about running a school, all the little expenses that will be eating at your profit. When you are running a school, you get to know all about those expenses. And if you are just a normal school teacher, you do not know about those hidden expenses. So all of these costs, they were all supposed to be paid by me and my husband. We realized later on that we had used up all of our savings. That was when we started to withdraw the money from our house, since we had been paying for a very long time, and it was one loan after the other, until when we sat down, me and my husband, and we said, this is not working at all. We just wanted to give up on the school. The problem is that once you start a business, it's like a baby that you want to see growing. And if that baby is not growing, you just keep on pouring money. Then we went to this other prophet. We had never even thought that me and my husband, we would end up being assisted by these prophets that you find in the open fields that are from Zim. One day we had gone to visit one of my cousin's sister. She was staying in this other location, so she had some disagreement with her husband, and then her husband called me and she said, can you please come and talk with your sister? She's fighting with me here. So we drove there. When we were going there, we just looked at those people that were praying in the fields. We did not think much about it. But when we were returning back, it was my husband's idea. It was like, let us just go and hear if those people can help us in our business. You know, these people from Zim, they have a lot of spiritual power. We then went there. They even looked at us because we were driving one of our finest cars. And when we arrived there, we got out of our vehicle, and then we were greeted by two men and a woman. They came and they asked us if we were lost. We then told them our story, that we were looking for help. And then they said to us, oh, you've already made a mistake. When you have visited a prophet, you are not supposed to tell the prophet your problem. So right now, even if I prophesy, it's not going to make any sense because I already know your problem. But you can come into our church and you can see what is it that we do here. We then sat down, and it was very strange because we grew up going to a Pentecostal church, and in that white garment church, they were not using like the Bible when they were preaching. So it really we did not understand what was going on. But since we just wanted to be assisted, we just did whatever that they wanted us to do. Later on, we were then given some phone numbers of these other men, whom we were told that these men could assist us. We then accepted the phone numbers, and we were told where these men were staying. We then went to visit that man. It was on a Wednesday when we went to visit that man. So then the man then told us that he was going to prophesy, and to prophesy, yes, indeed, he did. So his prophecy that he had given to us was that my husband, he was the one that was having some problems from his side because he never knew his father. So his ancestor was the one that was looking for him. And as long as my husband did not have any contact with his relatives so that they can introduce him to his ancestors, we will continue to face bad luck in the business that we were doing. So the only way for this to be sorted out was that we were supposed to find his relatives, and we did not know where his relatives were. So the man then said that he was going to give us some water that we were supposed to use. We then took the water and we were told to bath with the water. And this was when it was really cold in June. We had to wait until it was 9 p.m. and we had to go outside, and then we had to do those prayer rituals. Me and my husband, we would go out. I would be wearing a white skirt and a white t-shirt, no shoes. My husband would be wearing a white short that we had bought, and I would pour 3 buckets of the cold water on my husband, and he would do the same. We would freeze, like freezing to death, and you were not supposed to wipe yourself. You had to stand there outside until you were dry, then you would go inside. So we did this, and to our surprise, we then found out that my husband's relative, they had been looking for him because he was supposed to be introduced to the family. So my husband, he used to think that his father came from KZN. It turned out that my husband, his father was a Xhosa. He came from Eastern Cape in a village there. So we then went to Eastern Cape, and he was introduced to his tribe, and his ancestors. They were angry because he was using a surname that did not belong to him. That was why we were facing a lot of bad luck. With all of these things, we were so happy. So the people in that village, they had said that there was like a function, a ceremony that was supposed to be done on behalf of my husband, so that the school that we had that was having a lot of problems, and we had a lot of losses, we were supposed to be assisted by his ancestors. We did not tell them about these prophets. So when we were returning back, we then said, these people, we do not know them. What if they do a ritual, and this ritual that they will do, what if they will steal the business from us? Because we did not know these people. It was my husband who was saying that it is very tricky. If you were born and raised in another family, then you come and you introduce yourself to another family, it might happen that they will feel jealous because of your success in life. So me and my husband, we then stopped talking with the relatives. We just wanted to do our own stuff. So fast forward, when we returned back to Joburg, we then spoke with that prophet about what had happened there in the Eastern Cape. So he then said, okay, it's fine. If you do not want to use like the traditional rituals so that you can be blessed by the ancestors, I can assist you using the Christian way. So he then said that I want you to sell all the office furniture in your business that you have. You can leave everything else that is in the classes because it will become too expensive for you. But all the offices that are at your school, all the furniture that you have, I want you to sell it. When you sell it to another person, obviously the people that will buy it, they are people that own a business, and their good luck, it is going to come to you. Anyone that buy the equipment from you, that person, if he or she has good luck, the good luck will come to you. Like, it did not make sense. And he said to us, the things of the spirit, they are not supposed to make sense. Once the things of the spirit start to make sense to us, then it means that they are no longer the things of the spirit, because that spiritual realm and this physical realm, they are two different things. So we cannot understand something that is beyond our realm, for it is beyond our understanding. What we understand and what happens in another world, it is two different things. And what he was trying to say was that it's like an ant. An ant will never understand a human being. And us, we can look at the ants and we can study the ant and see that this is the way that it lives. And for the ant to be able to study you as a human being, it is impossible. So he was saying that those that are in the spiritual realm, they look at us and they understand everything that we do. So when he told us this, then my husband said, okay, it's fine. You can help us because you are the one who helped me to find my relatives, just like what my ancestors had been saying, that once we find him and he comes home, we are going to bless him. So we do not want to involve ancestors anymore. We want you to help us using the Christian way. So we then took stock of all the items that we had in our office. Even our staff, they could not understand what we were doing, because 3 months before this, we had took out another loan and we had purchased brand new computers and other equipment that we had in the office. Things were still new. And then we took all the things that we had bought for cash and we put it to the side and we took everything to the auction. To our surprise, before we had taken these things to the auction, that prophet, he gave us some holy water and he said, I want you to sprinkle this water on everything, on the phones that we had bought for the staff, their laptops, including the office equipment that we did not take on loan. So we then sprinkled the water and he said, do not worry, these things, even if it is a laptop, you sprinkle it with water, it is not going to get damaged. At that time when we went to his house, I was surprised because we saw something that was like magic or a miracle. There was a man that was there. He wanted to go and apply for a permit, and they took his passport and he soaked that passport in a bucket that was full of water, and he left it there for about 10 minutes. Even me and my husband, we were looking at each other saying that this passport is already damaged. But when he took out that passport, it was dry, as if there was no water that had even touched it. So we believed in that man. The stuff that we had was taken to the auction. Within 2 days after the auction get opened up, then everything was sold. Then we started to experience good luck. A lot of students started coming to our school. We started making money. Then that prophet, he said that he wanted money. We then gave him the money that he wanted. We had to sell one of our car. And now the school that we started with, we now have several crashes. We have 3 crashes and we have 2 primary schools and we have 3 secondary schools that we do have in Gauteng as well as in Eastern Cape as well. So this is how we managed to rise up in business, even though we had been making a lot of losses. The only problem that we are facing is that we are always being followed by a cat. And this prophet, we do not know how else to reach out to him, because the last that we heard was that he went to Namibia, and we thought that he would return back to South Africa. And the people that we asked, they can't give us the phone numbers. They say that they also don't have the phone numbers, and we do not know if they are lying. So this cat, like whenever I see it, it will be walking behind me. I might be walking even in the mall. Then when I just turn around, I'll see that there is a black cat that is following me. And this cat, it's only me and my husband who see this cat. If we are traveling in the car, if you use the view mirror, you will see that at the back seat, there is a cat that will be sitting there. The problem now is that this cat, we used to see it, it was small, but now it's getting big and big and big. Each and every time that we see it, it's getting bigger. So we do not know what it means. And the person that helped us is no longer available to assist us. And if you know any other person that might translate these whole visions that me and my husband keep on having, We will be grateful if you can help us, and also give me a link to the episode so that I can be able to watch it. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our follower there from TikTok. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Can you imagine? Strange things they do happen in this world. Then there is another message that I want to share with you. And the message, it reads like this. Hello, brother. How are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman that is currently staying here in South Africa. And this is my confession. I used to stay in Masvingo, and then I went to Harare and I started staying with my auntie who hated me because she hated my mom, because she was a Ndebele speaking woman. So it was really terrible. I started to date a lot of men so that I can just get some food to eat. I then migrated from Zim and I came to South Africa so that I can be able to get a job, because I was really broke and desperate, and there were days when I would go without eating any food. When I arrived in South Africa, I became friends with this other girl who taught me how to go on hookups so that you can make some money with no strings attached. I would go on this other group. It is a group for Zimbabweans that are here in Joburg. So if it is a man that is looking for a woman to have sex with, you'll just post them as anonymous, and then you can just exchange digits. And then if you think that you can be with him, you can meet up and you can have sex and he gives you money. That is how I was surviving. It was not like prostitution, like going into the street, but we were using Facebook. It then happened that one day I then saw a guy on that very same group, but he was a Nigerian man, but this was a group only for Zimbabweans. So I did not know that I was speaking with a Nigerian man. We then started talking until he told me that he was Nigerian. By then he had already sent me a lot of e-wallets, and I just wanted to be with him because he was very romantic and he was giving me money. So we kept on dating over the phone, and then he told me that he wanted to meet up with him, and I went to this other place where they were washing his car, but they were also having braai. We then sat down and we spoke. We drank a lot of alcohol. And when I thought that now it is time for him to take me to his place, to my surprise, Brother Nanshim, he then said that he was going to contact me later on so that I can meet up with him. He then told me that he had booked a nice place for us and we were supposed to go to that place so that we can just enjoy some time. I said, okay, it's fine. He then picked me up and then we went to this other lodge. It is called Buffalo Ranch Game Lodge. That was where we went and we slept with each other. Later on, when I woke up, I saw that he was moody. He did not want to talk to me. I then said, are you ready for us to do another round? He then said, no, before you do that, I want you to assist me with one small thing. And I asked him, what is it that he wanted me to help him with? He then told me about his rituals. He then opened this bag and he pulled out a snake. I was really shocked when this happened. I was even crying and I wanted to run away. He said that he was going to give me money, so much money that I had never had in my life. He said that he was going to give me 50K, 50,000 rands. It was money that I had never imagined that it would be given to me by a man. So I started to think in my mind all the businesses that I could start back home in Zim. So I agreed, for he had said that I'm just going to put this snake underneath our bed and then we make love and I give you your 50K. So I agreed because this seemed so easy. When he was on top of me, he then started seducing me and he said, how about I top it up and I give you around 75K so that this snake can also play with you. I don't know if I was possessed by then. I agreed. As he was touching me, then I saw him. He was holding the snake. It started moving between my breasts as he was making love to me. Then when I woke up the next day, this Nigerian guy, he was gone. but I saw that there was a plastic bag that he had left for me. It was a Markham's plastic bag. When I opened it up, I saw that there was money that was in there, and I counted it and I saw that it was how much. I then called my cousin and I told her that she was supposed to hire a car so that she can come and collect me in Groblersdal where I was. And she came, she collected me. And along the way, I lied to her that this guy that I was with in that lodge, I had opened up his phone and I had found out that he was cheating on me and I did not want to be with him anymore. So then we went home, and when we arrived in Joburg, I got onto the bus and I returned to him. I started a small shop. It's still there in Masvingo. It's still operating to this very day. I stopped talking with that Nigerian guy. The only challenge that I'm facing right now is that I can have a vision of me sleeping with a snake. And when I sleep with this snake, and when I wake up, I'll see that down there will be semen that will be coming out of my private part. Any man that I date will always have this dream of him being chased by a snake that will be telling him to stop dating its wife. So it means that I am a wife to this snake. I don't know if there is anyone that can help me so that this problem can just disappear. Dear listeners, right there was a brief narration of a confession that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us talk about this in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.